Appreciate that light. Is that Dear Queen? Said WTF. Hey, WTF, right back to you. Appreciate you stopping through though. Said hi. What's up? How's it going? Said what fucking you mask? Oh, maske? Am I pronouncing that correctly? Well, for those of you out there in the live, or that's a part of my chat right now, that's not familiar with yours truly, I'm Black Vega. So this is Black Vega's face, the mask, part of my persona, my online character. I explain it just about every day in my life on my videos. What's up, Crystal? Appreciate you stopping through. Say, okay, I know now. Yeah, now you know. Not just another weirdo in a video with a mask on. You know, if you went to my channel and seen my description, you will see once upon a time I was a husband. I'm still a father. I'm one of the good guys. Shout out to all the good guys out there. All the heroes out there trying to make the world a better place. Hey, it's the people out there that don't wear masks that you got to worry about. Because you still not seeing their true form. I'm keeping it real with everybody, my whole audience, anybody that watch me. You'll know who Black Vega is and what Black Vega is about. Say, I'm never judged you. That's true. You know, you probably was just a little put off by the mask or just confused, or I probably would think the same thing. Like, hey, some grown man on here with a mask on. What he got going on? It's not Halloween yet, but every day is Halloween for Black Vega. Interesting fact: my sister's birthday actually is on Halloween, so you know. Yeah, but every day Halloween for me. But like I said, it's the people out there in the world that don't wear a mask, not an actual literal mask. Say, what is your philosophy? What afterlife do you believe in? Heaven, nirvana? That's a good question. Was that at that guy Kyle? You know, I believe that it's a heaven. That's how I was raised to believe. I would like to believe that it's something much better than this that awaits us when we get to the other side. To be honest, you know, whatever your idea of heaven is. Dear Queen said, "Okay, love you, bye." All right, Dan. Appreciate you stopping through. But yeah, I mean, I'll be lying if I sat here and said the thought of the afterlife don't terrify me, because it's always that question in the back of your mind. What if I'm wrong? And more so, what if I'm right? And by what I believe in, if I'm right, Black Vega got a lot of explaining to do. Black Vega has a lot to take account for. So yeah, that thought alone is terrifying. I'm not gonna lie. I'm only human. Karen said hi. What's going on, Karen? Said you see my comment. Yeah, I just said what's up. I see everybody comment. I try to respond to everybody. Said I do not fear the afterlife. I believe in heaven. Oh, that comment. Okay. Right. Yeah, I believe in heaven as well. I believe in heaven as well. And you can't have one without the other. So it's like if you believe in heaven, then what's on the other end of the spectrum? I'm just hoping that my spiritual beliefs or my spiritual discipline, or hopefully that'll be enough to, gain me access into my heaven. Because again, I'm just keeping it 100 with you. Like, I'm not a perfect person. I'm not the worst human being walking the face of the earth, but yeah, that thought that I stand before my creator when I finally get to see the beauty and I'm held accountable for everything I've ever done. Yeah, that thought's terrifying. I try my best to be a good person all the time. Put my best foot forward, fall short a lot of times. Said, I hear you, man. I'm 27. I'm Buddhist, but know people from all religions. Yeah, gotta respect all religions, man. Everybody has different religious and spiritual backgrounds. So, shout out to the Buddhists and everybody else out there. Say at Gina, or am I saying that right? Genta Bertnice. You gotta excuse me if I'm butchering your name. Said, can you tell me something that hurts my life? Can I tell you something that hurts your life? Oh, can I tell you something that hurts my life? Yeah, go ahead. I thought you was asking me to tell you. Yeah, go ahead by all means. What hurts your life? Said I'm 60% deaf. And you said that hurts your life? Said I'm also hard at seeing. Well, I'm sorry that you have those and no offense if you would consider those disabilities, being visually impaired or was it visually impaired and hearing impaired? You said I bump into things. Hey, we all bump into things. So Lord willing, you'll bump into like only good people in your life. Only be good people in your path from here on forward. Saying I almost got ran over. I'm guessing you saying by a car once. Yeah. Sorry to hear that. Thank God you didn't. Sounds like you definitely here for a reason. Appreciate that like too, y'all. Yeah. Like the creator got you here for a reason. So, like I said, we all bump into things. you know, it's not always smooth sailing. It's not always a smooth path laid out for us. So, like I said, we all humans. We just doing the best we can to navigate our way through this life. Said, do you fear the afterlife, Mr. Black Vega? I don't necessarily fear the afterlife itself. It's that moment that I'm realizing that Black Vega's no longer on Earth, took his last breath. won't be physically seen from or heard from again. Like, if I'm going to be courageous enough to embrace that feeling, if that makes sense. So it's not necessarily the afterlife itself, it's the gateway to the afterlife, the exit from this life, if that makes sense. I would imagine like that would have to be terrifying for anybody. I mean, I don't know. Said that is ego, yes. Uh, what do you mean is ego? I mean, that's my opinion. That's my honest opinion. You know, I just asked the question because I was just curious to see what you guys would say. And so far, it says 38% fear the afterlife and 62% saying no. So if I did have to fear anything about the afterlife, it would be that I would be in fear of not have completed my mission, what the Creator put me here for, and not done enough good, I suppose, or live righteously enough for me to actually go to a better place. Said it depends on your sense of self. Like you will be worried about crossing over to death, depending on your frame of mind. Well, at that guy Cal, I use Black Vega's personal experience. Out of the many deaths that I've experienced that were close. So if it's somebody close to you, I mean, we've all experienced it, I'm sure, whether it's a family member, friend, associate, a pet. But that's that thing that we all have to face one day. So I can't help but ponder every time with everybody that I've lost, just speaking for myself, just speaking from Black Vegas experiences. That final moment, like I said, that when your eyes close and never open again here in this life, when you don't draw breath anymore in this life. Plus, if you sense it coming, and I mean, I still wonder, like, is it an actual Grim Reaper that shows up that snatches your soul out your body, that escorts you? That is it a angel of the Lord that holds your hand and flies away with you? Said, God bless you. God bless you as well, Karen. That's just, you know what I'm saying? That's just my feelings and my view on it. So, I mean, I don't know. Any of us that's even here in this chat that's discussing this topic, how will we really know if we've never crossed to the other side? If we've never been in the afterlife permanently, how will we know that that feeling entering that spiritual realm or the afterlife isn't terrifying? How will we know that? I would imagine it would have to be. Because all we know is life once we're here. That's all we know. We know death from other people's, um, I guess just from death happening to them. Like I said, whether it's family members, friends, pets, whatever. But we don't know that personally because we haven't walked through that door. Said the details will depend on your religion. Ours is that our souls go to the moon and return to be reincarnated. Well, that's true. That is one of the spiritual beliefs of what is it, Buddhism or being Buddhist. But even with that, Cal, I would have to be, I wouldn't have to be, but I would probably still ponder what I would come back as. If I feel like I'm a decent human being in this life, how does that work? Do I get to come back as another person? Do I come back as the same sex? Do I even come back as a man? Do I come back as the same race? Or do I come back as like a bird? Or I come back as a spider? I love spiders, by the way. Shout out to arachnids out there and all the people that love them. So I don't know. That just raised more questions in my mind, Cal. All right. Luke says you are taken by angels. Basically, they take you up towards the light, but you've got to find your own way to the light, and sometimes that can take forever. If you have been clean and not been a bad person, you will find the light quite easy, but some never make it there. That's an interesting take on that. Karen says, I'm going to go now. Lucas is very correct. Hey, Luke or Lucas, you got somebody that's in agreement with you. God bless you. May you live a very good life. Appreciate that, Karen. You know, I accept that because God knows it ain't always been a very good life. Though I try to be a very good person. Um, said Luke says this is just a shell that our soul is in, and we are nothing but a ball of energy, black plasma. Death does not exist. We travel through vessels. That's an interesting perspective as well. And that guy Cal says if you leave enlightened, you get nirvana, heaven. But what you reincarnate as is based on your karma, in essence. Guess that makes sense then. Karen says no problem. Luke says you're not anything. You're just basically a ball of energy. And did you know that every single sperm will meet the egg at first? They all start of females. No, Luke, I did not know that. I didn't know that part. I might have to go back and reread that and dissect everything you just said. Goodbye, man. Karen, for the fifth time, goodbye. You're welcome to stay, but you seem a bit torn on if you want to stay in the chat or if you want to leave. I know it's a lot of good conversation going on, a lot of good viewpoints. You're more than welcome to stay, but if you got to go, then you got to go. I don't want to hold you. Say God bless. Luke, yep. That guy Kyle said he is correct. XY chromosome is male and the Y is a mutation. It starts as XX, which is female. Sorry for the science lesson. Hey, no problem. Knowledge is power, man. Each one teach one. I don't knock it, man. That's what this live stream is for. You're more than welcome to express yourself, your opinions, your knowledge, anything you want to share. Learn something new every day. Yo, Karen again talking about I'm torn. I'm torn very, but the thing is your talking is very inspiring, so I don't know what to do. Well, I guess only one thing you can do, just stay and be inspired. Continue to be inspired. But I can't just take all the credit. It's a lot of good people saying a lot of good things in the chat, in the comment section. Luke says, yes, you could Google it. We all start as females. Yeah, I believe at some point I might have heard that along the way. Don't quote me on it, but like you said, I can Google it, so I'll be sure to do that, Luke. I'll be sure to do it. Like I'm not gonna do it right now because I have to go get another device and pull it up. But I feel like if you feel that strongly about it, and you name dropping like Google, a huge database information source, then you might know what you're talking about. So back to this poll, some of y'all still saying yes, y'all fear the afterlife. The majority of y'all saying no though. So we got 18 votes so far. 33% saying yes, you all fear the afterlife. 67% saying no, we ain't never scared. Said, do you like conspiracy theories? And if you do, which is your favorite? Well, I can. I guess you could say I like conspiracy theories, but they have to be conspiracy theories that interest me. My favorite conspiracy theory, I guess it would be that whole take on UFOs and extraterrestrial life or intelligent life out there in the universe and other planets, other worlds. But I don't know. I don't even know if that's still considered a conspiracy theory because it's like the government is actually openly admitting this stuff, but you have record of people doing this over time. So I don't know. I would love to meet an alien though. And if it's one, I'm pretty sure it's a million or a billion. So aliens is always an interesting one. Yeah, yeah. Cause my whole thing is with aliens, it's like, I mean, why if you an advanced life form, you're highly intelligent, with your technology and everything else, and you obviously live, I guess in another part of the universe or another planet, then why even waste time coming here? Well, we still trying to figure it out. I would imagine to an alien, this would be beneath them. He said, I think it was a great con that they managed to convince people aliens will come from the sky and not from below ground. Hey, that's a good point too. Yeah, that's a good point. And yeah, I appreciate those like guys. Said I used to fear death, but now I don't as I've gotten older. And when it's time, your body will prepare itself to pass over, which I believe will be very peaceful and on to the next vessel. Yeah, one would hope so, right? You know? But what about those Passovers that's not peaceful? What about for those people that pass over that they last in their final moments are just horrific? Just, you know, say you have to find a light then, or you have to find the light first, then you will be taken to God again. He is nothing, a ball of energy, a higher being. Then you will go through a different stage and then onto another vessel. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. We all believe what we believe. Yeah, I'm not here to dispute anybody' religious preference or religious teachings or beliefs. You know, said I also believe the light at the end of the tunnel is an illusion, but this is just me. Yeah, the light at the end of the tunnel said, listen, said Luke said, listen, the alien race created us with another race like the Mayans. Our DNA has been altered many times, and we have been watched from day one. They put us here on planet Earth. I've heard that theory before as well. Say you would have to be very small minded to think that we are the only species that live in a vast universe. Facts. Karen, all right, man, I'm gonna go for real. Thank you for your words. Anytime, Karen, don't be a stranger. Make sure you check out my channel, my videos and stuff as well. Show me some support. Appreciate you. That guy Kyle says, I believe the powers that be have been soul harvesting for many years, and few people conceptualize it correctly, it is where the matrix term comes into it. This is an energy extraction matrix. Karen says they inspired me a lot. Karen says see you later. Karen says bye for the 20th time. There's some good conversations for sure. I don't blame you, Karen, for not wanting to leave. Uh, Kyle, there's some real stuff you just said there. Said I believe the powers that be have been soul harvesting for many years, and few people conceptualize it correctly. It's where the matrix term comes into it. This is an energy extraction matrix. All right, Karen. Yeah. Is that Kyle agreeing with you? Yeah. It is definitely an interesting world we live in. Society is definitely I said God bless you your whole life, man, but I really gotta go. I'm just really torn. Karen, if you get any more torn, you're gonna be torn apart. You know, not in a violent way or disrespectful. You got to be clear with these things. I don't want anybody to take what I'm saying the wrong way. Well, I guess I could say, Karen, if you're any more torn, there won't be nothing left for you. What is this? Kyle says there are souls and NPCs that don't want to face the scary reality, bro. You seem awake to things, so keep asking the right questions. I appreciate that, Kyle. Luke says, it's like this. I believe God will not look nothing like a human. He will be the same as us when we pass over, and that is basically a ball of energy. We all have the same God, but different religions. I agree with that. I agree with that for sure. I mean, he could be a enormous ball of energy floating with the mask. But no, that's true though. We all energy for sure. And these physical forms and bodies are just vessels. Said Google Ezekiel's will, Luke. That is what God will look like. Y'all gotta let me know what that look like. Appreciate that light. Sorry. The question is, do you fear the afterlife? We got 37% of people saying yes, they fear the afterlife. 63% saying no, they don't fear the afterlife. They ain't never scared. So 19 votes so far. But yeah, Kyle, you gotta give me a description of what this version of God you telling Luke about. Now you piqued my interest. I'm curious. I've seen a depiction of I'm not sure if it was God. It was supposed to be angels, and it was like covered in like a whole bunch of eyeballs with like wings and stuff. Looked like something from like a nightmare. Or was an angel. I was just reading something the other day about Dante's Inferno, and I don't know if people give enough credit to. I'm guessing the author's name was Dante. I don't know if he just used that for the story, but for the time that was created, that was pretty descriptive and pretty creative. So Queen of Hearts said, Black Vega, how are you? How's your day going? Shout out Queen of Hearts. My day's going pretty good. Appreciate you dropping through to my chat. or my live or whatever, that says originally no wings anyway. Luke says religion is man-made. It doesn't matter what religion you are. Follow it was written by a human or another race. My God is basically an alien. That's who I believe in, the higher being. Yeah, like I said, Luke, you more than welcome to believe whatever you want to believe. Of course, you don't need Black Vegas permission for that. You know, these are things we all know. Everybody's entitled to their religious beliefs or spiritual preferences and opinions, and I try to respect them all. Now, I'll never start Bible thumping and telling you, oh no, man, you need to believe in this. No, the Bible says this or the Quran says that. Like, you know, if you feel that that's the truth in your heart and in your mind, then hey, more power to you. You know, I'm definitely not a enormous ball of energy floating judging everybody. Luke says, for me, religion and politics has caused the human race to separate and conflict between one another, including war. Those are big facts, Luke. That's true. That's very true. Cal says exactly. All we can do is share perspective, not force it. Facts. I agree. But yeah, religion is the cause of a whole lot of stuff with humanity, a whole lot of negative stuff. Luke says the bonobo ape or monkey is the closest to human beings, something like 98 or 7.2%. That's where humans first started. But obviously, we are smarter, so our DNA was altered with another race. That's an interesting take. But I'll be lying if I sat here and said I haven't heard that also at some point in my life. Yeah, somewhere the truth lies. We all connected. Luke says, we all have our own beliefs. We are not here to argue. We are keeping it civil and lots of positive vibes here only. Facts. Cal said, it's an interesting subject. Encompasses a lot philosophy, religion, metaphysics, astrology. It's wild. It is wild. So all this just off of the poll question. To be honest, I thought most people would probably pop into the live and just kind of either put yes or no and keep it moving. But you know, I always welcome everybody. They want to stay in chat. That's what I'm here for. They want to express their viewpoints, their opinions, share their knowledge. Hey, this the place for it, man. Said yes, that's God. Totally agree. Said Kyle says, remember this, gentlemen. We are the masters of our destiny, not the negative influence that try to sway us. Hey, facts, man. Appreciate that. And it is very close, but it's already here. The government basically admitted they cannot account for 5% of UFOs or UAP. Hey, Luke, remind me again. What's UAP? Kyle says we we all fall from the path, but it's important to acknowledge you did something bad, and that is more important than not caring at all. Big facts, Kyle. Big facts. Acknowledgement, remorse, forgiveness. Okay, Kyle says unidentified aerial phenomena. Okay. Luke says, I haven't got a religion. I basically belong to the Church of England. I've never been baptized. He said, I am not Catholic, etc., but I pray to my God, the one I believe in. And that's what you should do, Luke. If that's what works for you, that's what, is that where you find your faith and your peace of mind, your spiritual comfort, then more power to you, Luke. And Queen of Hearts says, I saw you alive, just wanted to stop by and show some love. Keep being amazing. I'll catch you next time. This is beautiful energy, no judgment, just beautiful conversation. I love it. Hey, appreciate that, Queen. Shout out to that Queen of Hearts. Always showing Black Vega love and support. Appreciate that, Queen. Luke says, that's why I love music so much because it really does bring the world together with peace and love. Music is one of the only very few things we have left to do that. Hey, that's true too. That guy Kyle said, big respect, Queen of Hearts. Yeah, she's a real one. She's a real one, man. If y'all not familiar with her, you know what I'm saying? Whenever y'all on here, y'all get time, man, make sure y'all check out her channel as well. She's a good person as far as I could tell. Since I've known her, like I said, she's always been supportive, positive, good energy. Oh, she's still here. Yep. Good people, man. We need more good people like that in the world. Yeah, music. Yeah, I love music too, man. I don't know what I would do without it. If it's good music, it's good music. If it got good energy, a good message, and good lyrics, then rock with it. They got Kyle said, good people are the ones who should be in control of things. Sad, but maybe someday we get there. Hey, that's a good point. Good people should be the ones in control of things, but for some strange reason, the way this society is upside down and inside out. Yeah, maybe one day we will get there. So I don't know if y'all still in the chat. Um, where y'all watching from? Kyle says, let me ask you this since you like UFOs. If aliens are real, do you think they are friendly or a threat? Kyle says, I'm in the UK. All right, then, shout out to the UK, man. Um, do I think that they're friendly or a threat? Well, I want to say if they've been here amongst us all this time or before us, they'd be pretty friendly if we still around. And technology and everything else, probably way of life. I'm pretty sure they don't just genocide one another. And they have to be pretty friendly. Because I feel like if they was a threat, if they were a threat, then we would know by now. Unless they just a patient threat and they just like literally sleeping on us or just lying in wait. Or it could just be like human beings. You have some people that's friendly and you have some people that's a threat. They could be divided that way too as well. There you got UK in the building. Say I agree with you. I've spent years thinking about and reached the same answer. Maelstrom incident is an example of it. Maelstrom incident. You might have to elaborate on that, Cal. I'm not sure I'm familiar with what you're referring to. Said UFOs showed up at a military base and disabled warheads. Oh, I don't know how I missed that one. Yeah, I don't know how I missed that one. So the image called the March of Progress started with an ape-like ancestor. In the original version, there were 15 figures, though many of the simplified versions might show around six. And Kyle saying it's unusually common to happen in the military, so I agree they must be friendly. Luke says each one of those stages they are trying to show us every time that our DNA was altered through each stage to become human beings. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure when I finish this live that I hop on I guess Google will be a good website to go to get more information. And I don't know, do you guys have any of this type of stuff on your channels? Because I could just support you guys instead of just going if they have to, but instead of just going to browse and if you guys already have it, I can just come straight to your channels. Luke said that's very true about the aliens. They went to a military base and they basically overtook the nuclear systems with the missiles. Showers what power they had. I guess you meant missiles show what power they had. Kyle says I don't just a few music projects. I should work on compiling a list of sites. You should. I mean, I think it'd be a good idea. A lot of people out there, ignorant to this type of information or just curious and probably want to learn more. You seem like a pretty credible source as far as what you're talking about. So I don't see why not. Luke says, Black Vape, or I mean, I guess you meant Black Vega. You know what I'm talking about, right? The chart from ape to a human. That's the simple way to put it. But they were showing us each stage our DNA was altered without saying it. Hey, that's kind of deep. I know what chart what chart you talking about, but nah, I know that's like a subliminal message they was doing. I wouldn't word that. Luke says I don't have a channel. Luke says I've subscribed to you notifications on also I would know when you're on. All right. Appreciate that, Luke, man. Thanks for your subscription, your support. You know, did you think about starting a channel maybe? I mean, because before, like, I'm just starting this channel like maybe 5 months ago. As long as YouTube been around, but it started as just like an outlet for me. It's therapeutic. Because yeah, before I would just scroll and see different things online, watch videos, other people live, but I couldn't really interact until I actually created an account. But do what you feel, Luke. Said, yes, that's what I was meant to say. They showed us their technology, basically. Yeah, and that guy Kyle says it would make sense. Roswell was there 1940s, and that's when tech started to take off, right? Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. Again, I'll have to Google this stuff. I know at one point, I used to read up on like Roswell, but it's been a while to be honest. But I do find it interesting that in 2026 that with all the things that's going on in politics and in the world in general, that UFO topics are starting to be at the top of the list of discussions. Like the things that all the people across the world want answers to or answers for. It's still on hold for some reason, but kind of tiptoeing around this UFO situation or aliens. So I guess I don't know what all of a sudden they like. Oh, it's no point in trying to classify information. Like it's too much technology readily available for everybody across the world to be able to catch things on their phone and devices or just look up things. Or I mean, I don't know. I really feel like even cell phones are alien to me because if and don't quote me on this, but if you go from like mankind's history from like what was it, the Stone Age to the Bronze Age or whatever, I don't know if I'm skipping some ages or phases, but then it's kind of like we just all of a sudden just took a huge leap, and it's like now I can talk to wherever you guys are from, you know, the comfort of my lair. All right, Kyle says, well, I read that already. Luke says there are many different alien species like the tall white and the reptilians. Yeah, I heard of those. But those little gray aliens with the oval eyes, they are from Zeta Reticula. They are in a artificial like a robot. Yeah. Kyle says cell phones made from fucking sand, bro. Insane. Yeah, it is insane. Luke says I have not got time, bro, and I will try to support you as much as I can because some weeks I work nights and then the other week I work days. It's a continuous cycle. Hey, I understand, Luke, man. Just whenever you get time, no pressure, man. Cal says Indigo Children to Luke. Yes, Black Vega is because I'm in London. My messages have like a 2 minute lag. I understand, Luke, but that's my point. Just to even be able to talk to you from where I'm at in the United States to London, that at some point, if somebody would have said, hey, man, I got this idea, some man or woman, I got this idea that, we'll have these electronic devices one day where you can be all the way in another country. And, I could be at home and I'll be able to actually see you and talk to you, and you'll be able to do the same back and forth. You'll call that person crazy. Or, if you was to like hypothetically speaking time travel and go to a different area where cell phones didn't exist, you know, and actually showed them a cell phone and pulled up a video or a FaceTime with something, those folks will probably have a heart attack and just, you know, bro, they want to put a chip in your brain to do all that. LOL. Yeah, nah, Black Vega not going for none of that. So 150 years ago, we basically had nothing, no technology, at the best horse and cart, and that was for thousands of years. Then 150 years old, look where we are. Of course, we had help. Facts, Luke. That's what I've been saying too for a while. But it seems like people don't really stop to actually just soak that in. They're just so busy with the newest and latest technology, the next best thing, and all this. Instead of like, hold on, wait, let's just back up, pause for a minute. Let's just really think about like the history of mankind and evolution with tools and technology. How did we go from here? Then all of a sudden, just with all of these type of devices and what they can do, it's crazy. So I agree with you. I definitely believe we had help. Said Cal says, just remember the guy who controls that also has the power to turn off your car while you are driving it. Haha. Yeah, that's That's an unsettling thought. Luke says the government did a treaty with the aliens. I'm not sure what race, probably the tall whites. They wanted permission to abduct humans, but we had to be returned, and in return, government wanted technology. I can go for that. I won't put anything past the government, especially United States government, because I've always wondered like why are UFOs or aliens like why is that even a thing? The whole concept of an alien or image of it or description of it, like everything comes from somewhere. Everything has an origin. There's always truth in something. Cal says I recommend the channel said S. Williamson if you want to check out some wild English cult stuff. I keep that in mind. Matter of fact, like I said, I won't pull it up on this device, but give me a moment. I'm gonna grab a pen and I'm gonna actually write that name down. Luke says, yes, technology is phenomenal. That we can just connect with each other from the other side of the world, and the time difference is like 10:45 p.m. Oh man, it's nighttime for you over there, huh? Luke says, look at your camera. You could be anywhere in the world, and you can watch your house and talk to the person that's knocking on your door. That's true. It's that's amazing. But humanity's history, like I said, we're intelligent ourselves in our own right, and you know, creative. But the leap. Just give me one moment. I'm gonna grab a pen so I can write down that name. All right. What I miss? Luke says, I believe the Simpsons cast they have contact with the time traveler or something because their predictions are just on another level. Definitely not a coincidence for the most of it. Yeah, Simpsons prediction is crazy. So I gotta go back in the messages and see what was that called. what Kyle said something S Williams Williamson. Williamism. Am I pronouncing that correctly? It was something else too about go back. Okay, Kyle says, here's some stuff to write. Yeah, that was it. The Maelstrom incident, that stuff. Ant people of Hoppy or Hopi. Is it Hoppy? Maybe Project Artichoke too. Kyle, I'm gonna assume that's a real thing, that Project Artichoke. Maelstrom incident. So, ant people. Yeah, that's what I do in my free time. Just Google all of this stuff. Interesting facts. All right. Luke said that's true about the phone with people being distracted. And the crazy thing is the phone was designed to keep you distracted, but people don't stop to think who gave the technology to create it. That's true. I can't help but think about it. Kyle said some random but interesting stuff. Artichoke had some disclassified stuff the same day Trump went to war with Iran. That's interesting. Luke says when you swipe your finger across your tablet or your phone, just think 150 years ago, aliens were doing that, then gave us the technology. Right. That's crazy thought. Kyle says, bro, add these Operation High Jump and Operation Fishbowl. All right. I'll be sure to check that out. All those things out. Should keep me busy for a while. The marine life is dying, and because of how much sand we take. It's just all about how much sand we take. So high jump is the most interesting for sure, G. I'm gonna put a check by so I can make sure out of those two, I hit that one up first. Luke says, think about it. All of the buildings, the motherboards, microchips, phone screens, it's all made from sand and minerals. That is killing wildlife, especially in the oceans with the habitats to breed. Hey, Luke, that's a very, very, very valid assessment and point. And most people don't think about that on their day to day or in their day to day. And to be honest, I didn't either. But when you break it down like that, that's saying a lot. Yeah, that's saying a whole lot. So yes, I know about Operation Fishbowl and Black Vegas. Black Vega, if you don't know about it, looking into it is very interesting. Yeah, I'm definitely have to look into it because I don't. And, whenever I come across something interesting or something that I didn't know about, once I learn, I can make sure I pass the knowledge on. Each one teach one, just like ninjutsu. You know. But yeah, y'all, my phone alert just kind of blinked that my phone's going dead. I wasn't even thinking about the battery life on it. But I didn't think I would be on this long before I charged it. Let me see. Luke says, "This is what I have done most of my life. Watch nothing but documentaries, thousands and thousands of aliens and UFO abduction documentaries, different conspiracies like M- MK, Mon Ultra, etc., etc." Yeah, yeah. You can see you have a vast knowledge of these topics. But yeah, I don't want this live to down y'all, or just to shut down or whatever. But my phone's life is very low. The battery's very low right now. So I don't know if you guys will be on here later on. But I want to charge it up a little bit and maybe come back on live later. Um, so I know for some people it's already like close to 11 o'clock at night if you over there in London. So it's just coming up on 6 o'clock here. But I say in about maybe 2 hours I'll come back on. But I definitely got to charge this phone up because yeah, they ain't gonna make it much longer. So I didn't want to close out the live, man, before if you have any final comments or anything you want to say. Luke says, yes, the amount of sand that we are taking is shifting the oceans, continents, and it's destroying the habitats to breed. It's the same with all the trees that we take from the forest. It's a good point. Kyle said, might be back if I'm awake. I'll hit the bell. Take care in the meantime, boss. All right, Kyle, man. I appreciate you, hanging out with me in my live and chopping it up in the chat. Dropping some real knowledge. So, like I said, maybe about like 2 hours or so, I'll come back on once the phone's charged up. So that should be about 8 o'clock, maybe 8:30. Luke says, Black Vega, if there was one documentary you said to me, what should I watch? I will tell you. There's a documentary called Operation Blue Book. It's about 3.5 hours long. That's all you need to watch. Yeah, that's probably all I want to watch after that, to be honest. Like, that's 4 hours. Yeah, it's got to be pretty interesting. What is it called? He said Operation Blue Book. Yeah, so I have to check that out. Operation Blue Book. But yeah. All right, Cal, man. It was nice chopping it up with you guys. All right, Luke. I definitely appreciate the conversation. Different viewpoints, perspectives, knowledge, all very interesting and much appreciated. Luke says Operation Blue Book. There is a short version, 1 hour, and the original is about 4 hours long. It covers absolutely nearly every alien conspiracy with other different conspiracies. All right, I'll be sure to check it out, Luke, for sure. With everything that I wrote down just in this live, yeah, I should be learning about all type of stuff for like days on end. But yeah, I gotta get ready to sign off, guys. So again, I appreciate you stopping through, showing support, you know, sharing your opinion, sharing your thoughts, you know, spreading your knowledge. I appreciate that. Said I will get a notification if I'm on. I will come and chill with you, brother. Peace. Peace out, everybody, and take care, and God bless. Likewise, Luke. You know what I'm saying? God bless you as well, brother. Y'all take care out there.